So we're on Monday, 6 days out from the fight now. We're kind of pulling the weight down a little bit, but today's like the last big session. We got wrestling every Monday. We've got Leon teaching us wrestling every Monday, so there's no better place for anti-wrestling in the world, really, you know. So it's good. I've been honing in on the wrestling and jiu-jitsu a lot. I'm looking forward to showcasing that in the fight. But yeah, last day of work today, some heavy drills, few live rounds and stuff, and then back, get a little bit of refuel and come back in for another session later on, and the focus will switch into kind of pulling the weight down a little bit now for the last few days. Yeah.
I want to go over the I want to go over the single double finishes again. Getting it sharp. This is like one of my highest successful takedowns that I've been getting lately. We're going to start first by shooting a single leg on the head on the inside, bring that back leg to us, pull him out, and open him up for the double. Finish it. Sorry, right there.
So yeah, it's been a blessing being able to come down here and train at Renegade. I've been here coming up like nearly 2 years now, and yeah, obviously there's such a high level on the mat, and not just in competitors but coaches as well. So like I say, on a Monday we got Leon teaching us wrestling, we have Tom Breeze teaching our jiu-jitsu, Joby teaching the striking, we've had sessions from Dan Hardy coming in and instructing. So the wealth of knowledge is just crazy. And then on top of that, you've got elite fighters everywhere, professionals in Bellator, UFC, and they're all looking and helping everyone elevate, you know. So it's a great mat to be on with everybody on the same journey, you know. Yeah, it's a hard mat to be on and not elevate and get better. So yeah, it's a great position to be in.
How's that?
So yeah, like I say, it's Monday, so 5 days left. Now it's kind of all about stripping the weight down, so the meals get a lot smaller and we reduce our carbohydrates and fibre and things like that. So normally the things that I'll be cooking will be a lot nicer than this. Not nicer necessarily, but yeah, there'll be a different spread. Today we're gonna have some eggs, avocado, and then I've got blueberries, cashews, and cashew butter. So high fats, high proteins. Like I say, we pull the carbohydrates out so we can get rid of all the water in the body. That's kind of the main thing this week. Calories and stuff is not so much going to bring the weight down as much as pulling all the water out. So yeah, that's what we're going to do today. And yeah, also last little bit of carbs that I got is coming from fruit. So like I say, berries, I've got pineapple and stuff. But yeah, the last few meals moving forward into Thursday will be my last day of food, and then weigh-ins Friday morning. So yeah, not too long left. But it's not too much different from how I'd normally eat anyway. Like, to be fair, my diet is pretty much non-processed foods, just because this made me feel a lot better. It's maybe been about 3 years since I've been doing that heavily. Yeah, no processed foods, no alcohol, no carbonated drinks. Just pretty much cutting out everything, and the difference that it's made has been massive, you know. And that's with everything, like energy levels, mental focus, yeah, and just the way that I kind of live, you know. I don't really feel sluggish too much anymore, just from them kind of like major changes in the diet. And yeah, like a lot of people message about diets and things like that when they see me eating, and maybe as I'm getting closer to a fight and obviously like the body composition changes. But for me, this isn't like a diet or anything like that. If you start kind of talking about it as a diet, it kind of has a start line and a finish line, and it's hard to maintain. This for me is more like a lifestyle thing at this point, and I think that's what makes the biggest difference in being able to commit to it, is that I just understand that this is how I kind of live now, rather than thinking that it's a diet and there's a restriction. I just get to eat good whole foods all year round, and like I say, the difference that makes in my day-to-day life is massive. The food like affects everything. So food affects the way that you feel every day. It affects your mind. I mean, you take into consideration how it all works. It's like the building block of who we are. As you consume it, it's basically building you. And you see that through like the gut health and the gut brain all kind of connecting to your actual head. And the response of food and the brain, it's a crazy connection. So it's almost like everything that you are, the saying of you are what you eat is a lot deeper than it seems. It is kind of building who you are, you know. There's so many studies in the foods that you eat, the way that it chemically affects your brain, like good fats and everything like that, helping brain health. But then there's studies where bad fats from crap foods, processed foods, has a negative effect. So it's not even like you're just breaking it down into proteins, carbs and fats. You do have to be aware of the foods that you are eating. Like if you're eating terrible foods filled with crap and chemicals and all of these things, ultimately that's what you're feeding up top into your head. So it can affect your mood, it can affect your energy levels, and then obviously another thing is it affects your weight and your being. So it's going to affect your whole body, you know. So it's an important thing that you have to take into consideration. But like I say, you look on social media and that these days, and it's a minefield of people just talking a load of shit almost, you know. And you got to be aware, like a lot of these people have agendas and probably selling something. So when people are looking to make a change and they start looking onto social media about what it is that they can do, there's a million things people that they're sprouting, and people in the comments getting angry about this, that and the other. Like for me, it's just keep it simple and eat good whole foods as much as you can. That's going to have a positive effect on your mood, the way that you are, the way that you feel, your brain health, your gut health. And when you kind of break it down to that, it's almost like people get like a religion of certain foods. Like just come away and eat good healthy foods as much as you can, and that's going to make the biggest difference. You know, don't get too caught up in all the nonsense that's going on, and just eat well, and you're going to feel a million times better than eating a lot of processed and chemical foods as the majority of your diet. So like, I'd not always eaten like this. There was a long time where I would just eat for the sake of keeping my weight down, and I thought that was the goal. Like if I never got above a certain weight, then it didn't matter what I was eating. I could eat junk food, chocolate, biscuits every night. But then you kind of realize that the overall goal is not just weight maintenance, it's about performance. So you want to be consuming to help perform in the gym, day-to-day life and things like that. And that's where the switch needs to happen, you know. Like you can get away with it for a long time, you know, especially if you're training a lot. Then the calorie expenditure is going to be massive. So you can get away with eating a whole load of food and not putting on the weight. But you almost get like a baseline doing this, yeah. So like I say, when I was doing it, I thought, I can still perform in the gym, I can still spar, I can still compete and eat all of this. But that's because my baseline was here and this is all that I knew. The moment that I flipped it all and started taking all of this seriously, you start to realize that there's a whole new baseline that you can reach, you know, in energy levels and performance and thing. So it's a great thing to get started with and start creating the good habits now as you're building up throughout the career. Because it's one of the most important things is, like I say, it's the building blocks of what you're creating and who you are in your mind, in your body composition, in the way that you perform. It all comes back down to what it is that you're consuming, what you're fueling yourself with. So you start building the habits early, it's a lot easier as you go on through the career, you know. So yeah, like I say, we're fighting in 5 days. This fight was a little short notice, I think about 3 weeks. But the good thing with being in control of my weight and my diet year round, and also just being in the gym year round, is the availability to be able to take short notice fights. You know, there's no like mad scramble. It's almost like fine tuning the diet to pull it down and amping up the intensity of training, you know, but you're kind of always at a baseline when you're ready to go regardless. So I'm excited for the fight. The kid looks like a tough kid. He's like had a lot of boxing experience, professional kickboxing experience, so it'll be a fun fight, you know. Like I say, I'm looking to come in composed, have a good performance, feel it out a little bit, maybe even showcase some of the wrestling and the jiu-jitsu, you know, show people the work that I've been doing down at Renegade for nearly 2 years now. But yeah, I'm excited to get back out, and then this year will be very based on activity. Like in kickboxing, like I was super active. There was a year where I had 12 fights in 12 months. Sometimes I had 2 professional title fights within 2 weeks of each other, you know. And it's a little bit harder in MMA because the weight cuts are so big, so I think that kind of pauses people being able to go back to back so much. But this year I'm definitely looking for a lot of activity, a good 4 or 5 fights at least throughout the year, and yeah, just get the wheels rolling, get the motion going, and start showing people the work that we've been doing, and get onto the world stage, and yeah, announce that we're here and we're doing our thing, you know, and chase the world titles like I did in kickboxing and striking, and the same in MMA as we go forward. A few more days and we're back. Get to show the world what we've been working on. As always, striking masterclass, a few extra surprises. Let's go. So yeah, like I've said, now it's pretty much just about keeping everything sharp, bringing that weight down. So I like these kind of sessions, especially in the cage, where I can like visualize, start setting my mind on the things that I want to work on, see the positions, see the strikes that I want to land. And yeah, like I say, the mind's a massive bit, so visualizing and living the moment before it even comes. So when you actually get there, it feels like you've been there 100 times. There's less, like no nerves and everything like that, so it's real powerful. But yeah, that's what I like to do here. A little sweat out in a sauna suit, visualize, sharpen, and yeah, it's good work.